are live at Alumni Field, Corral Memorial Stadium, here in the campus of Jesuit High School for Homecoming 2022, as the Jesuit Tigers meet the visiting Clearwater Central Catholic Marauders. Good evening, everyone. I am John Pedrero from the class of 1981. Welcome to Jesuit Tiger football. Well, Jesuit coming off of a 71-0 as anticipated win over the Leto Falcons. We're not going to dwell upon that game too much. The expected happened. 10 different Tigers scored. Leto got their first down on the very last play of the game. That's kind of how that game went. Will Griffin went all the way because mainly there was not a backup for Jesuit, so Griffin got some good playing time. Really, everyone in the team played, so no injuries to my knowledge, at least. So in that respect, that game was a success, and Jesuit now with a record of 3-2 going into this homecoming game against Clearwater Central Catholic. So Will Griffin, for the season, he has thrown 5 touchdown passes now. I think he threw 4 against Leto. Joe Smith, the leading rusher, he has rushed for 605 yards, averaging 121 a game. Jarrett Bowie with 13 receptions. Peter Pizanski, 5 sacks to lead the Tigers in that respect, and 27 solo tackles, as you would expect for Georgia-bound Troy Bowles, the outstanding free safety this year, but we'll see if he plays a little bit of linebacker tonight. So Jesuit 3-2 with no cupcake here. The only cupcakes tonight were the ones at the cafeteria at the homecoming dinner. This is a good team in Clearwater Central Catholic. They're 4-1, coming off of a win at home against Sebring, 16-10, close game. Their only loss was week 2 on the road at Trinity Catholic in Ocala, always a tough team. As the captains are taking the field right now for Jesuit, number 1, Andre Gilbert, number 96, Andre Morris, number 17, Peter Pizanski, number 23, Troy Bowles. So a defensive foursome out there for Jesuit. For Clearwater Central Catholic, I see number 3, Nate Johnson. That's one number I see. I see 56 out there. That is that's Shane Elam, 56. And I can't see the other 2 numbers quite just yet. So the referee giving the instructions. We'll have the coin toss here. Father Hermes is at midfield, so he will give the opening prayer. It looks like we have a student to do the national anthem. So there's the coin toss. And CCC has won the toss and deferred. So Jesuit's going to receive, and they are going to defend the north end zone. So the Tigers, with Will Griffin at the helm, will have the ball offensively to start the game. Other captains out there for Clearwater Central Catholic, number 12, Carson Chavello. And 55 was out there. That was Kevin Terry. So Clearwater Central Catholic at quarterback is the sophomore Jershawn Newton. The name Newton has been associated with CCC football since 2013. There's only been one football season where there has not been one of the 5 Newton brothers playing for CCC. Started off with Jervon back in 2013, then Jaquan, Jerzon, Johnny Newton, they called him, and Jershawn. I think I got that right. But this is the youngest brother, and he is an athlete, 6'1", 210, dual threat quarterback. As the Tigers come out in their blue tops and bottoms. So really the key to this game, and here comes CCC. Their white unis with the reddish orange helmets and trim. So Jershawn Newton, really the focal point of this Marauder offense, team well coached by Chris Harvey. He has thrown for 7 touchdowns and rushed for over 600 yards this year. But now we're going to have the invocation, I should say, followed by the national anthem. So here is Father Hermes.
Will compete here tonight between Jesuit High School and Clearwater Central Catholic. May they play to the best of their ability, free from injury, and according to the highest standards of sportsmanship. And may all of us in our daily lives seek to do your will for your greater glory. Through Christ our Lord, amen. St. Ignatius, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Oh, this is it.
School would like to remind student athletes, coaches, administrators, and spectators to act with good sportsmanship before training.
All right, so back deep for Jesuit, Justin Thurman, number 2, Andre Gilbert, number 1. Kicking off for CCC is number 2, that's Andy Jaffe. He's also a wide receiver and safety. So Jaffe kicking off. He's a junior. His Jaffe kick is going to be returned by Andre Gilbert at the 7-yard line. Gilbert 15-20. And he is met quickly and tackled by number 34. It's Drake Witt. So Witt with the tackle. So Will Griffin at quarterback for Jesuit. He's got Joe Smith next to him. Two wideouts right. It's like Bryson Goodwin to the left. Shotgun formation. Griffin, Joe Smith. Nice hole for Joe Smith. Hole closes quickly, but Smith gains about 3 yards in that play. So a gain of 4 for Joe Smith. Smith averaging 6.6 yards per carry. 2 wideouts to each side now for Jesuit on 2nd and 4. Griffin fakes to Smith. Pass is caught for a first down by Gary Givens. Gary Givens really has upped his game as of late. So Givens, his inside handoff, nice run by Joe Smith. He picks up about 7. It was Gary Givens' 8th catch of the year. So Jesuit has some options here on 2nd and 3 at their own 46-yard line. 10:34 left in the first. No score. First drive of the game. Shotgun again for Griffin. Smith next to him. Fullback in the game. Smith again. And he's going to be just short of the first down. So number 4 in there, Julian Allen for CCC. It's going to be 3rd and a yard, maybe a yard and a half. So the fullback, Gabe Themar's in the game, 42. Givens wide right. That is Goodwin and Bowie wide left. Joe Smith gets it again. And forward progress is going to give him a first down into Marauder territory at the 49. So Joe Smith running to the Wesley Shaw side of the line. Willie Suarez coming in the game. So 1st and 10 Jesuit at the Marauder 49. The speedy Suarez goes wide right. It's Bowie and that's Givens wide left. Joe Smith next to Will Griffin. Will, short drop, quick out is caught by Jarrett Bowie, and he's going to pick up about 5. Give him 4, 2nd and 6. One thing we've noticed about Will Griffin, he is seems to be more effective when he gets rid of that ball quickly. So now Griffin is under center. And they run a jet sweep to Bowie. Bowie cuts inside. He's going to be short of the first. And the ground caused the fumble. Referee right on that. No fumble on the play. So a gain of 4 on the jet sweep. It's going to be 3rd and 2. Suarez wide right, Bowie, Goodwin wide left. Givens left slot. And they give a delay handoff to Joe Smith. I think he's going to be shy of the first. And you figure Jesuit's going to go for it here on 4th and a yard. About a yard and a half. They're lining right up. Givens comes out. See if Givens goes back in. See if they try a quarterback draw here with Will Griffin. Man in motion is Suarez. And they give it to Smith, and he's going to have a first. Smith with a head of steam. You know, that earlier play I said the Wesley Shaw side of the line, should have said the Evan Wardham side of the line. Shaw's at right tackle, so 1st and 10. Nope, read option. Pass is caught. Givens going up the sideline to the 10. It's going to be 1st and goal, Jesuit. Givens keeping his balance and just tiptoeing up the sideline to the 8-yard line, and Jesuit has 1st and goal. It's Joe Smith. Smith running inside. Smith near the goal line, just short. So Smith with a gain of 7. It's going to be 2nd and goal at the 1. Nice opening drive for the Tigers. 6:35 left here in the second. They've used almost half of the first quarter. Joe Smith in the end zone. Score! Touchdown Tigers. An effective drive for Jesuit. A 5-minute and 34-second drive for Jesuit. And Smith from 1 gives the Tigers the lead. Here's Jack Ferrari. Snap, kick. It is good. Boy, that's about as good of a start as the Jesuit Tigers would have wanted here. Effective opening drive. They are up 7-0. 6:26 left in the first. There's Ferrari. Back deep for CCC. Andy Jaffe, number 2, is back there. And the other number may be a 10, not sure. Here's Jack Ferrari. Ferrari's kick is going to go into the end zone for a touchback. The other returner is number 20. And that is Lenwood Sapp, the running back. So now we get to see this Marauder offense led by Jershawn Newton. Dual threat quarterback, a big dual threat quarterback, 6'1", 210 pounds. He is a sophomore. And you may see in the offensive line 78, that's big Quinn Davis, 6'7", 280 at left guard. Newton, handoff, and it's a tackle in the backfield. Lenwood Sapp is tackled quickly by Andre Morris and others. Loss of 2. Boy, Tiger line in the backfield quickly. So Troy Bowles is lining up at an outside linebacker position. And it's a little end around. Bowles on the tackle. That was Nate Johnson. Now this is the situation where Jesuit has to be careful for Jershawn Newton. Newton is averaging 9 yards a carry. He's the leading rusher by far for the Marauders, followed by Linwood Sapp. So spread formation. It's Johnson in motion. Newton, pass is caught for a first down to Nate Johnson. Where Newton zipped that one to Johnson, who got open just past the linebackers on the right side. So this is Johnson and Julian Allen wide left. And Newton with a fake, Newton with a keeper, Newton with a nice run. He's going to have a first down. And Bowles on the tackle. So 1st and 10, CCC at their own 47. Jesuit defensive coordinator Darryl Palmer calling out the signals. It's a handoff inside to Sapp for a short gain. And Bowles in on that tackle. So Bowles has been very active today already. S.J. Green and Andre Gilbert at corners, playing deep corners. Newton back to pass. Lobs it up. It's caught by Nate Johnson. So Jesuit's corners were, it was almost a triple safety look there. The corners very deep off the line, which left some open space in the flat, and Johnson just found the open space, and Newton with a little lob pass right on the numbers, 1st and 10 at the 40. Nate Johnson, the leading receiver for Clearwater Central Catholic. He goes in motion, and he gets the fly sweep. He cuts inside. He's going to get a nice run. Definitely some speed on this offense. Drew Wood has made the initial contact there on that tackle. Pick up a 7. And we're going to have a timeout by Jesuit. So Jesuit calls a defensive timeout here, as Matt Thompson and Darryl Palmer not liking what they're seeing, so they're going to make some early adjustments here. Jesuits' next game be on the road at Gaither next Friday. Clearwater Central Catholic has a home game against Cambridge Christian. Two wideouts left. Newton shotgun. Newton has it himself. Newton with the keeper. And he's going to get tackled for a loss. Cyrus Abood, I think, was the first one making contact there. So it's a third down. Third down and 3 at the Jesuit 33. Newton shotgun. Keeps it himself. He's going to have the first. Bowles and Andre Morris in on that tackle. So Newton needed 3. He picked up 8, which is near his average. 1:40 left in the first. Jesuit leads 7-0, and CCC driving. Shotgun again, has a man in motion. Fly sweep, that's Jaffe. And he's not going to go very far. Houston Weathers in on that tackle. Drew Wood as well. Got back to the line of scrimmage. No gain, second down. Second and 10, 43 seconds left in a rapidly played first quarter here at Alumni Field, Corral Memorial Stadium. This may very well be the last play of the quarter. It's Johnson in motion. Newton keeps it himself, positive yardage. Going to pick up about 3 yards. Wood as in on that tackle. So it's going to be 3rd and 7, and they're not going to get another playoff. So we have played one here at Homecoming 2022 here at Jesuit, and the Jesuit Tigers lead Clearwater Central Catholic 7-0. We'll be back in just a moment. Second down and 7. Newton. Delay handoff to Sapp. He has a big run and a first down. I think the Tigers might have been thinking pass there and delay handoff to Sapp. So a CCC can get a first down without getting a touchdown. 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line. Newton shotgun, Sapp next to him. And Newton keeps it himself. 10-5 score. Wow. Jashawn Newton made that look easy. 11-yard run. Got some good blocking and ran in relatively untouched. And it's 7-6 here with the extra point pending. And the kicker for CCC is number 19. That's Eduardo Cosenza. Cosenza's kick is blocked. Andre Gilbert. Boy, Gilbert flying in off the edge. A clean block. The Jesuit with the 1-point lead. Remember that one. 7-6 Tigers very early here in the second. Jaffe to kick it off. Justin Thurman, Andre Gilbert deep for Jesuit right around the 10-yard line. Couple of speedsters. Gilbert on the return last time. Here's Jaffe. And Gilbert's going to get a shot here from the 2-yard line. 10, 20, cuts left. To the 23. Good coverage on special teams that time. And number 12, that's Carson Chavello in on that tackle for CCC. And also we would like to welcome any Marauder fans tuned in tonight on Jesuit High School Football Tampa Facebook page. Hope you enjoy the live stream broadcast, and thanks for your support. So Will Griffin leading the troops out. He's got trips right. Bryson Goodwin to the left. And Griffin keeps it himself, cuts left, has a nice run, stood up by Jaffe. But he's going to pick up 6 yards. So Griffin showing he can run it too. 2nd and 4 at the 30. 10:40 left in the second. 7-6 Jesuit. Goodwin and Bowie left to the short side. Suarez Givens to the right. Shotgun. Griffin back to pass. Pass is going to be incomplete. Was looking for Bryson Goodwin. He was well covered on that play. It's going to be 3rd down and 4 for Jesuit. Suarez comes out. Gabe Themar in. And they give it to Joe Smith, who cuts left, and Joe is going to be shy of the first by about a yard. So it's going to be 4th down and a yard. So decision time here for Matt Thompson. 4th and 1 at Jesuit at their own 33-yard line. And the Tigers are going to kick it away with Ferreri. Good snap to Ferreri. Ferreri, nice kick. Oh, it takes a nice Jesuit roll. Look at this. Back to the 21-yard line. It's a 46-yard punt by my possibly not so good math. But a good kick by Ferrari got the good roll. So we'll see if the Jesuit defense makes any adjustments here. It was a solid drive for CCC with Newton's running primarily, but he showed a strong arm. Shotgun, Newton, quick pass, and a nice gain. It's Julian Allen on the catch, just a simple quick out pattern, soft coverage by the corners, and it picks up 8 yards. Kevin Doherty in. And Newton, pass is caught for a first. It's Luis Sanchez. Used one of the trips on the right, just ran a little quick inside pattern past the down marker, and it's first down CCC. Newton getting some good protection. Jaffe goes wide right. It's Allen to the left, one of the three in the left. And another quick pass and caught by Sanchez again. Just a quick pass, almost West Coast-like offense for CCC. Short drops, quick passes is what we have so far. And it's been effective. It's a gain of 6, second down. Again, a rapidly played game. I don't think we've had a flag yet. I probably just jinxed us. Watch there be a flag on this play. That always happens when you say that. 7:28 left in the first half. 7-6 Jesuit. Newton, shotgun. Newton, quick pass, and a tackle. Kevin Doherty right there. Nate Johnson on the catch, and Doherty was right there, and that's a loss. So CCC facing a 3rd down and 6. Well defended by Doherty. Converged on that play quickly. It's going to be a timeout called by the Marauders. Newton did not like what he saw. Might have been some confusion on the offense there. So Newton calls time. Coming into the game, Newton averaging 13.6 yards per catch, reception, I should say. So again, this Marauder offense just working the short stuff right now, but they've got the speed to go deep if need be. But they have a big 3rd and 6 right now at their own 40-yard line. Here's Jershawn Newton at quarterback with Sapp next to him, 2 wideouts to each side. Man in motion, it's Johnson. And they try a little screen to Sapp. And Sapp has a 1st and more. They set up the screen nicely to Lenwood Sapp, and he's in Jesuit territory. And it's going to be time for the second quarter water break. You know, Newton really was looking right, like he was going to throw it, I think, to Johnson, who came in motion. But might have fooled the Jesuit defenders a little bit just with his eyes there, and wound up throwing almost a middle screen to Sapp, and the blocking was set up nicely. Lineman did not go downfield. It's a very well executed play. On 3rd and 6. .6:32 left in the second. 7-6 Jesuit, but CCC driving into Jesuit territory. Newton shotgun, man in motions, Johnson. Newton back to pass, Newton looking downfield, and it is dropped. Almost, I think Newton overthrew Julian Allen by maybe half a yard, but Allen was open. It was tight coverage, maybe toward the last 10 yards, and then Allen just turned on the speed, and he was behind the defense. So CCC taking their shot there and almost connecting. Now it's 2nd and 10. So Jesuit dodging a bullet there on that play. Johnson in motion, back to pass. And this is gonna be a hold, and it's gonna come back. This is gonna be a hold on CCC in the backfield. Referee called it, so this is gonna be 10 yards from the spot. There you go, holding Marauders. So it's Morris at end, Pizanski. And Boys is at nose, so the ends are Morris and Pizanski. It's a 2nd and long. And they do delay handoff, and that's not going far at all. That was Sapp, and he may have gotten a yard. Houston Weathers, who's had a solid game so far. Nick Quinn comes in the game for Andre Morris. So it's 3rd down and 22. Tigers do not want to give up the big play here. Bowles back at safety on this play, and he's playing a deep safety too. Newton evades a tackler, runs right to the sideline. He's going to go out of bounds. He's pushed out. It's Cyrus Aboud. So good coverage by the Tigers secondary. He was looking deep, nothing there. And Aboud forced him out after a gain, but it's going to still be 4th and long. And Jared Bowie's back to receive the kick. Snap. Oh, and they throw a flag on Jesuit. The question is this roughing or running into the kicker? That's the question. But the Tigers full on rush here. Personal foul. Oh, that is going to be 15 and a first. Wow, that's brutal. That is brutal. Tigers go into full block mode that time, and someone got a piece of the kicker, and it's 15 yards and a first. Wow. Matt Thompson saying the Jesuit player was blocked into the kicker. Boy, Jesuit really applying pressure on that play. So 1st and 10 now at the Jesuit 39, 4:53 left in the second. Flag. And this is going to be false start of the offense. So 5 yards back to the 44, where it'll be 1st and 15. Two wide outs to each side. Another flag. I'm wondering if they're calling this on the center for an illegal snap. If he's moving the ball, that's 10 yards and quick penalties there. Newton back to pass. Swing pass out to Sapp. It's tackled after a short game by Peter Pizanski. So gain of about 4 on that play. 2nd and 16. Two wide outs to each side. Shotgun. Newton. High snap. Back to pass. Newton evading tacklers. Newton throwing it, somehow getting it to Sapp, to the 20, to the 15. Wow. Newton about to get sacked. Somehow releases it to Sapp and sees Sapp open in the right flat, and Sapp takes it down to the 15-yard line. Bulls knocked him out of bounds. So 1st and 10. 4:03 left in the second. 7-6 Jesuit. Ball's at the 15. Newton to Sapp. Sapp cuts left in between tackles. He was running to the side of his big guy there, 78. DeJuan Davis, all 380 pounds of him. Gain of 4. Newton. Short drop. Quick pass, touchdown. Again, they make it look easy. It's David Green. Big guy at 6'5". He had a height advantage on Andre Gilbert. And Green just got inside of him. Newton zipped the pass. They are going for two, as you would expect here. Newton keeps it himself, and he made it look easy, 14-7. So another effective drive by CCC. That roughing the kicker penalty really was disastrous for Jesuit on that drive, and it ultimately led to the score. The Jesuit with the 2 timeouts remaining and ample time to do something here. CCC will get the ball to start the third. There's Jaffe. This is going to be returned. No, it's going to go in the end zone. This is going to be a touchback, a line drive kick. So Jesuit will take over at their own 20. Let's see what the Tigers can do offensively here. So Goodwin is wide left. Suarez. Givens wide right. Bowie's in the slot. Griffin. Joe Smith. That was a muff on the handoff between Griffin and Joe Smith. They were not on the same page, and that results in a loss of 3 yards. So 1st and 13. Not the start that Jesuit wanted on that drive. Definitely some miscommunication back there on that handoff. Tigers really trying to establish the run game here. Griffin looking downfield, caught and incomplete. Givens had it, got hit, dropped it. Had it briefly, never really had control of it though. Comes Andre Gilbert in the game. It's 3rd down. Griffin, draw play. And Jesuit's going to have to punt. So Jesuit really going conservative. Flag. Post possession here. Let's see what this is. Tigers are pointing towards CCC. Dead ball, personal foul. Oh, this is going to give Jesuit a 1st down. This is going to give Jesuit a 1st down on a very late flag. So something happened after the play. And the Tigers catch a break there. So let's see if they can capitalize on this one. 1st and 10 at their own 33. Griffin, back to pass, short drop. Griffin passes, caught. 1st down, Willie Suarez. Gain of 12. First and 10 Jesuit, 2:17 left in the second, 2:18, excuse me. And Griffin fakes the handoff. Griffin looking downfield to Suarez. It's intercepted. Underthrew him. Intercepted at the 20-yard line. Nate Johnson on the pick. Tigers looking for the home run ball there, but the pass was underthrown and picked off. It was man coverage deep. Tiger receiver looked like they were running a post pattern. And CCC has 2 timeouts left and 2 minutes 10 seconds. With this offense, the way it's clicking tonight, that is a lot of time. Mute. Fly sweep Johnson, 20, 25. Excuse me, that was Allen, number 4, Johnson's number 3. So Allen with a gain of about 7 yards on that play. Got out of bounds, stopped the clock, 2:04 left in the second. Keeper for Newton. Has blockers in front of him. Depends on the spot and if he got the first. Luke Arena and others in there. They may measure this one. From my vantage point here, looks like he's slightly short, maybe the length of the football, but let's see. Short by a couple of inches. I was sort of close. 1:43 left in the second. It's going to be 3rd and inches. Ball's just shy of the 31. Running. Newton shotgun. Newton keeps it himself. Oh, is he gonna? He reached ahead and I think he got it. He did. So Newton actually got hit in the backfield, but as he has done, just made something out of nothing. Still 2 timeouts left. Newton, quick pass inside, caught by Sanchez, tackled by Woodaz and Pazanski. Gain of 9, just nickel and diamond here. Under a minute left in the second. Newton shotgun, Newton, quick out, pass is caught, 1st down. Allen on the catch. 1st down, so number 30 in there. That's Fulton Roberts. 1st and 10. 33 seconds. Newton back to pass, getting good protection. It's going to be a hold. Pass is caught. Boy, these receivers get open and they make tough catches, but it's a hold. One thing these, even though this one's coming back, you can even see on that play, these Clearwater Central Catholic receivers, they are doing a good job in finding the open areas against this Tiger defense. And they are making tough catches. So timeout CCC 25.2. But that penalty puts them way back. In high school rules, holding is marked from the spot of the infraction. This hold definitely was behind the line of scrimmage. So the ball is back to the 32. So it's 2nd and 24 or thereabouts. Zansky and Quinn and Boys are the 3 linemen. Weathers, Abood, linebackers. Arena, Newton, short drop. Newton, Pazanski held again. Oh, that's good. He's down. Pazanski sacked him. Pazanski sacked him that time. Newton's knees hit the ground. And that's going to be it. Jesuit's not going to stop the clock here. And Pazanski with the late sack. And CCC leads Jesuit 14-7 at half. Again, thanks to everyone who's watching tonight on the Facebook live stream. We appreciate it. Jesuit and CCC fans alike. So we'll be back maybe about 16, 17 minutes or so. Take a break here. And we'll be back to the second half of action. It's CCC 14, Jesuit 7. And you're watching Jesuit High School football on the Facebook live stream. All right, John Padero back here as we start the third quarter. Here at Alumni Field, Corral Memorial Stadium, 14-7 CCC over Jesuit at homecoming 2022. Marauders will have the ball to start. Big defensive series here for Jesuit. The last thing the Tigers want is for CCC to get some early momentum here. Do not want to fall down 2 scores to this team, especially with the way their offense has been clicking this evening. So we've said many times over the years that Matt Thompson, Daryl Palmer and staff, Don Misick, on both sides of the ball have been good at making adjustments. We'll see what adjustments they have made here in the second half. So Andy Jaffe and Linwood Sapp are back deep for CCC. Ferrari to kick it off. Really, when you think back on it, quite possibly the key play of that whole first half was the roughing the kicker, which gave the Marauders a fresh set of downs and a subsequent touchdown. So that was significant. So Ferrari to kick it off. Jaffe and Sapp switch sides down with the receiving end. Here's Ferrari, the senior. Kicks it deep. Jaffe at the 5, 10, 15, 20 to about the 28-yard line. Host of Tigers bring him down there. Last one up from the pile. Looks like number 15 for Jesuit. That's Kyle Weaver. So 1st and 10. Ball's marked at the 29. And it's Newton. Pass is caught for a first down. And his receivers are getting open. And that pass was caught by Nate Johnson for a first. So Newton rolled right. Johnson just a crossing pattern. Newton was right there again on his pass. I mean, I don't have the statistics, but I'd say Newton has a pretty good passing percentage this evening. 1st and 10 at the 41. Newton hands it off to Sapp, and he is tackled in the backfield by Pizanski. Pizanski got him first. Arena finished him off, but that was Pizanski's tackle. And it is a loss on the play. So 2nd and 11 at the 40, early here in the third. 14-7, Clearwater Central Catholic. Two wideouts left. And in motion. And Newton back to pass, looking downfield. Nearly picked off by S.J. Green. So it's 3rd and 11. Big 3rd and 11 here. Here comes Cyrus Aboud in the game. He replaces Luke Arena. Luis Sanchez in the game for CCC. He's been effective tonight. He lines up wide right. Gilbert on him. Newton back to pass. Good protection. Newton rolls right. Newton looking downfield. And it's well defended by Andre Gilbert. Pass intended for Sanchez. And Jesuit forcing a punt on CCC's first possession. That's just what they want to do, or wanted to do. I would suspect that the Tigers are not going to rough the kicker this time. So Gilbert is deep along with Bowie. The Tigers with a few linebackers deep here. High spiraling punt. And Bowie lets it hit. And it's down at the 13-yard line, so a good kick that time by Giordano, the kicker. So Jesuit with a long field here. Love to see the Tigers throw it on first down here deep in their own territory. And they've really been intent on establishing the run. But let's see if Don Misek lets Will Griffin throw it here on first down. And they give it to Joe Smith. Blockers in front of him. So Smith was running behind Gavin Blanchard that time. And Caden Fluker on a sweep, and he does pick up 7 yards. So little convoy there for Joe Smith. So that's a good gain on first to the 20. 2nd and 3. And the pass is caught for a first down by Jared Bowie, who breaks some tackles, gets more yardage to the 32. Just a quick out pattern to Bowie. And he is a tall, big receiver, already has several offers, West Virginia included. And it's a first down to the 32-yard line. So Godwin to the left, trips right. Griffin back to pass, short drop. Griffin's going to get sacked. Pocket collapse and Griffin is sacked on first down for a loss of 4. Second and 14. Griffin rolls right. Quick pass caught. Gains the sack yardage and a couple of more back. Willie Suarez on that catch. So Jesuits facing a 3rd and 8 now at their own 34. Griffin getting the baptism under fire here in his freshman year at Jesuit, starting for the varsity Tigers. And they fake the fly sweep. Griffin lobs it down the field. Kind of threw it in a crowd. Goodwin and Suarez were there along with the defenders Jaffe and Johnson for CCC. Incomplete. Jesuit has, passing wise, Jesuit's had the most success tonight, it seems, with the quick outs and shorter stuff. Here's Jack Ferrari. Good snap to Ferrari. Ferrari, nice kick. their catch signal. And a nice Jesuit roll down to the 26-yard line. We have a Marauder player down back near the punt. It's 99 for CCC. There's a player down, this Kyrie Walker, senior. It looks like they're looking at his left knee or ankle. Looks more like a knee, I think. So Walker really can't put any weight on that leg. So he's headed off. So the Jesuit defense had a good showing the first series. Here they go again. Newton hands it off to Sapp, who's going to get 5 yards. Little counter type play that time. Really looked like Newton was going to keep it himself. They just did a little bit of a stretch type handoff, going the opposite way to Sapp, who has an effective run and gets 6 yards. Second and 4. Newton. Similar play. And that time the Tigers read it pretty well. I think Sapp got back to the line of scrimmage, so it's going to be 3rd down. It looked like Houston Weathers, number 0, was nearby on that one. So 3rd down and 3. Big 3rd down here for the Jesuit defense. It's the kind of play where Newton tends to keep it himself. Let's see, Newton, yep, it's a keeper. Newton sweeps right, 40, 50, big run by Newton into Jesuit territory. Saw that one coming. That was a 20-yard run for Jershawn Newton. Got a lot of open space in front of him there. The refs call a water break as CCC has 1st and 10 at the Jesuit 48-yard line. So 1st and 10. Sweep and a nice run and a 1st down run for Nate Johnson. Johnson and Allen are a couple of speedy receivers for CCC. And they've been effective on these sweeps, and that's a 1st down run. Sanchez in the game, wide right. Andre Gilbert on him, 1st and 10. Keeper for Newton, and he is tackled by Holton Roberts. Gain of about a yard. And they'll say no gain, so 2nd and 10. 5:29 left in the 3rd. Another rapidly played quarter here. It's 14-7 CCC. And they are driving 2nd and 10 at the Jesuit 36. Newton pistol formation now. Keeps it himself. Rolling right, looking downfield. As a man open? Maybe? No. Gilbert closed on that nicely. Sanchez briefly was open, but the speedy Gilbert with the closing speed breaks that one up. Good defense by Andre Gilbert. And it's 3rd and 10. Probably 2-down territory here for the Marauders. Kind of in no man's land here for a punt and no man's land for a field goal. So unless there's a sack or a big loss of sorts here, I would expect this to be 4-down territory. 3rd and 10. The Jesuit 36. Jaffe goes wide right with Sanchez. Two guys that are good possession receivers there on the right side. The 2 speed guys on the left. Now in motion is Johnson. Newton. Newton breaking a tackle, 40. Still with it. Newton running. Newton dives to the 1st. He may be short. Let's see. Broke Pazanski's tackle. It depends on the spot. He dove toward the yard marker. They're walking back. Maybe a flag here? Let's see. They're walking back. There is a flag. Oh, it's a hold, and they're marking it back from the 40. So that hold took place about 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. We're going to replay the down. I think Newton was a little bit shy of the marker, but it doesn't really matter. So now we have a 3rd down and 23 at midfield. So that changes strategy here. Newton looking downfield, going for the home run. Positioned by Gilbert. Andre Gilbert got excellent inside position that time on Nate Johnson. That is textbook defense that time. A little contact down the field, but no pass interference at all. That's just good defense and forces a punt. So it looks like CCC's tried to pick on Andre Gilbert a little bit. Not the tallest corner, but he'll stick to you, and he's shown that this evening. So 4th down. High snap is controlled. Good kick. Nearly fumbled by Bowie, but he recovers it. And Jesuit will have the ball 1st and 10 right around their own 20-yard line. So Bowie with the bobble, but got it back, so they're putting it at the 19. 4:21 left in the 3rd, 14-7 CCC. So Jesuit for the 2nd possession, starting relatively deep in their own territory. Goodwin wide left. He's been quiet tonight. Bowie slot left. Looks like Suarez wide right. Ian Wilson goes in the slot. They give it to Joe Smith with Blanchard in front of him. Joe Smith breaks 30, 40, 50, 40. Knocked out of bounds. Big run. That was the one the Tigers are waiting for. And they ran, and Joe Smith ran right behind Gavin Blanchard, who was pulling on the play. And Blanchard got the lead block, opened the hole. Joe Smith, big run. "44-yard run. Joe Smith again, cuts right, cuts inside. Oh, Joe Smith to the 20. Inside the 20, still going to the 15. Back-to-back Joe Smith. Smith feeling it now, running to the Wesley Shaw side of the line. So the Tigers going to the power game here. Smith comes out, Ian Wilson comes in. And CCC calls timeout here to stop the bleeding on the defensive side of the ball. See Wesley Shaw fired up out there. Big runs like that get the offensive linemen, get the juices flowing. How about that? That timeout actually helps Jesuit. Smith needed a breather, and he got it on the timeout. So Smith coming back in the game. So it's 1st and 10 Jesuit at the CCC 16-yard line. And that running game opens up the passing game. Griffin shotgun. Smith next to him. Man in motion, Bowie. Joe Smith. Joe Smith. Another nice run inside the 10. Tigers getting into a little bit of a rhythm here. Gain of 6 for Joe. 2nd and 4 at the 10-yard line. Goodwin wide left. Bowie goes slot left. Justin Thurman in. Joe Smith. Joe cuts inside. He may have a first. Think he does. It's going to be 1st and goal Tigers. Needed to get to the 6, and he got to the 4. 1st and goal at the 4-yard line. Givens comes out. Give it to Joe again. Joe Smith score! Touchdown Tigers. Keeping it on the ground. Dominant offensive line on that drive for Jesuit. And that just wears down the defense. And here's Jack Ferrari to tie things up. Julian Alonso, the long snapper. Will Griffin, the quarterback's the holder. Here's Ferrari. Good snap. Kick is up. Kick is good. We are tied at 14. 3:15 left in the third. See if that changes momentum a little bit here. Boy, that holding call on what either was a first down or very close to a first down run by Newton was a huge play. I mean, that was ultimately forced the punt. So here's Ferrari. Ferrari's kick. It's going to be Jaffe at about the 4 to the 10, 15, 20. And he is tackled by Kyle Weaver. And ball was loose, but the ground caused the fumble. So it's going to be Marauder ball, 3:07 left in the third, 1st and 10 at their own 25. Newton with Sapp behind him. Newton keeps it. Newton runs right. Newton is going to be tackled by Drew Woodaz, but he did get about 5 yards on that run to the 30. Again, Newton, the leading rusher for CCC. You may be seeing a lot of that here. CCC needs to hurry up here. Taking a lot of time on this play. Read option. Newton keeps it in his tackle. Holton Roberts, I think, on that tackle. So they go read option, where Newton, has the option of keeping it himself or handing it off to his running back, and he kept it. And it's going to be 3rd and about 2.5 yards to go. Newton keeps it himself. Newton, well, I don't know if he got it. I don't think he's short. Newton's short. I think it depends upon the forward progress here, but it looks short to me. I think he's short by about the length of the football. Referee's taking a look here. 4th down. It's 4th and maybe the football to go for CCC at their own 35. And they keep the offense out in the field. Newton, you knew he was going to keep it. He has the first. Barely, but he got it. I think everybody in the stadium knew it was coming that time. But Newton needed 1 football length. He got about 3. As we approach the end of the third. May get one more play in here. 1st and 10. CCC at their own 36. Newton. Inside handoff. Not going very far. That was Pizanski with the big tackle on Sapp. And that is the end of the third. Tiger ground game dominant. Ties it up at 14 as we head into the 4th here at Homecoming 2022. It's going to be 2nd down and 8 as the teams will switch sides. Trying to get the yard markers correct here. They were going the wrong way. It's 2nd and 9. As we start the 4th quarter. Oh, they try an end around Johnson. He's got a blocker in front of him. 40, 50, goes out of bounds. That end around play has been very effective, and it's a big gain for a first down. So, CCC in Jesuit territory, the 48-yard line, 1st and 10. Newton shotgun. Newton runs left to the wide side of the field. Blockers in front of him. Oh, he's hit hard. Houston Weathers in there. S.J. Green in there, but that was a hard pop by Weathers. Actually a loss of a yard, 2nd down. Sean Newton shotgun. Newton rolls right. Getting pressure. Oh, he's going to lob it up. Oh, this should be intentional grounding. Yep, there it is. That's grounding. That's going to be a loss of down, and they're going to mark it at the spot where he threw it away. So that's a big penalty. Way back to the 32-yard line. Oh, that's a monster penalty. So it is going to be 3rd down, and wow. 3rd and 30. 3rd and 30. Big grounding penalty. Newton. They do a draw play to Sapp, who gets a little of it back, but this is going to necessitate a punt. Luke Arena in there on that tackle. So it's 4th down. Let's see if the Tigers can have a special teams play here. A nice return by Gilbert or Bowie. Giordano, the kicker's had a pretty good night tonight. Low snap. Oh, he's fumbled the snap and he falls on it. Oh, a low snap. Giordano fumbled it. He saw the Jesuit Tigers coming. He fell on the ball. And Jesuit is set up nicely here in CCC territory at the 27-yard line. It's about the worst thing that could have happened right there for the Marauders. A low snap. The punter could not manage it and just wound up falling on the ball. See if the Tigers keep it on the ground here. They've had success. And they give it to Joe Smith. Smith inside. Smith dives ahead to the 25. 10 minutes left in the fourth. Two wideouts to each side. Jesuit calls time. So Bowie came off the field late that time, so might have been a little confusion on the offensive side. So Jesuit burns their first time out of the half. 9:34 left in the fourth, 14 all. Tigers facing 2nd and 7 at the CCC 25. Big crowd here tonight at Alumni Field, Corral Memorial Stadium. Alumnus of the Year recognized, Joe Caballero. Great guy. So this is an empty set now for Griffin. Justin Thurman's in the game. Empty set. Now Thurman goes in the backfield. They give it to Thurman on an end around. Thurman's got speed. Thurman cuts up the middle near a first down. Thurman, the sophomore, transfer from DeSmet Jesuit in St. Louis. He's a young man who we will see a lot more of in the future. He is a speedy player. Probably can play a couple of different positions for the Tigers. But he got the first. He did get the first on that last lean. So it's 1st and 10 at the 18. Griffin. Hands off. Nope. Griffin pass. Caught. It's Abood. Cyrus Abood, the fullback. Excuse me, that's not Abood. That's Themar. My bad. Excuse me, that's 42. It's Themar. Gabe Themar, not Cyrus Abood. My apologies. Play we saw last year with the fullback. First and goal. Joe Smith. Oh, Joe to the end zone. Score! Caden Fluker downfield blocking. And the Tigers take the lead. So that little fullback pass, we have not seen that this year to my recollection. I think it caught everyone by surprise. Ferreri's kick is good. It's 21-14 Jesuit. So 8:23 left here in the fourth, and Jesuit has taken a touchdown lead. And that intentional grounding call loomed large there. There's Ferreri. Jaffe and Sapp back deep. Jaffe's going to return it from the 2, the 10, the 15, has a hole. And he's tackled in the open field that time by Justin Thurman, number 2. Big special teams tackle by Thurman. You know, Thurman doesn't make that tackle, Jaffe could still be running. I mean, that was a big special teams play by Thurman that time. Yeah, that's right up there with the best, with the top special teams plays we've seen in this game. And a Marauder player looks like we have a cramping situation. No wind here tonight. It's a beautiful night for football. The flags are not even budging. So 0 wind. Not brutally hot for a change. But just a good night for football. Again, Jesuit on the road next week at Gaither. School, one of those schools, to my knowledge, they have not played in football before. I think we've met them in basketball, various other sports, but to my knowledge, the first football matchup. So that was Jaffe with the cramp who got tackled, and he is walking super slow off the field. And that leg must be cramped up bad. He has finally made it to the sideline, but he seems to be okay. So here's Jershawn Newton at quarterback. Newton keeps it himself. Looking downfield. Newton is tackled from behind by Abood, who I incorrectly identified earlier. 22, not 42. And we have another Marauder with a cramp. It's like a lineman.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not able to make Jesuit games, you can catch Jesuit football all season long on Facebook Live. Go on to the Jesuit football Facebook page to watch all of the games live with play-by-play and color commentary from John Cordero, class of 1981. Once again, fans catch Jesuit football all season long on Facebook Live.
Still can't quite make out who this Marauder is. I think it's a lineman. It's 56. Center. That's Shane Elam, senior guard. So he's a big body. Walking off here for a bit. So it's 2nd and 3 for CCC at their own 43. 8 minutes exactly. Newton looking. Oh, he's sacked. Newton is sacked by Houston Weathers. Weathers blitzing from his linebacker position. Newton had stepped up in the pocket and was looking downfield, I believe, for Johnson. And Weathers sacked him. So it's going to be 3rd and 7. Tough quarterback to sack. But we've called number 0 a few times tonight. He's having a good game. 3rd and 7. Newton Newton shotgun, trips, 2 wideouts to each side. Back to pass. Quick pass, incomplete. He underthrew. Johnson, Kevin Doherty was the closest Tiger. Penalty on Jesuit. It must have been a personal foul. Wow. 15-yard penalty, first down CCC. They might have called, I was looking downfield, the referee did the signal pretty quick. They might have been a roughing the passer. That's what I'm guessing, at least. So 1st and 10 at the 46 of Jesuit. Newton shotgun, Johnson in motion, Newton. Quick out pattern, Allen, 40. Breaks a tackle, 35. Short of the, no, he got the first. Got the first. Julian Allen broke a tackle, got an extra 4 or 5 yards out of that. So I see 56 back in the game for CCC Elam, who had went out earlier. Jaffe is still out. I see him over on the sidelines, number 2. So 1st and 10 at the 35. Newton hands off to Sapp. Right up the middle. Big gain for Sapp inside the 20 to the 15. 20-yard blast for Linwood Sapp. Sapp, a short, stocky running back. Low to the ground. But he just got 20. So 1st and 10 at the Jesuit 15, under 6 minutes left in the 4th. Marauders trying to tie this up. Newton shotgun. Newton rolls right. Pass is caught to the 5, leap into the end zone, and a score. Touchdown. That is Keo Jenkins. So Jenkins just kind of got out in the flat and there was no one out there. And Jenkins had a head of steam and leaped into the end zone from about the 2 or 3 yard line. And CCC is 1 point away from tying this up. High snap. Oh, it's a mess up. Let's see. They're going for 2. They're going for 2, and he's tackled. No good. A bobble snap, and Jesuit leads by 1. Still. I think that was Weathers again in on that tackle. And I think that's another cramp. I think that's the whoever the holder was is cramping up on the sideline. But 21-20, so a couple of special teams mistakes for CCC have loomed large in this game. That snap was off. And Gilbert was about to block that kick. I think the holder saw that. I mean, Gilbert had already gone around the end. I mean, that kick was going to really be kicked right into Andre Gilbert. So they tried to go for 2 and didn't work. So Thurman and Gilbert are deep. We're still working on the Marauder player. on the sideline, but down by the 2. They're going to have to wait until he gets within the applicable markers. So maybe conditioning showing here. We've seen multiple Marauders cramping up. Really no one from Jesuit. Not really something you see much from the Jesuit guys, really cramping up. You know, it has to do with the right workout, with drinking the proper liquids in the proper time. There's a whole science to that, but Jesuit players are not prone to cramping. Never really have been, at least in the Matt Thompson era, to my recollection. So there's Jaffe. And this is going to be Gilbert, 10, 15. And he's tackled at the 20-yard line by number 17 for CCC. That's Logan Whitfield. Actually, I think that was Ryan Gross, actually, the junior. So we'll say Ryan Gross. So the ball spotted at the 21. Tigers up by 1. 5:25 left in the 4th. Suarez, Bowie wide right. Joe Smith next to Will Griffin. See if the Tigers can work some clock here. Joe Smith, no, Griffin on the keeper. And Tigers trying the called quarterback keeper. Quarterback draw there. They're going to get about 2 yards out of Griffin. Had a play like that, he ran in for a touchdown against Leto, but that was Leto and not CCC. So Wilson comes out. 2nd and 8. Joe Smith, get Blanchard in front of him. Smith cuts right. Smith 30. Smith up the sideline. Smith 40. Smith goes out of bounds. Big run, Joe Smith. Once again behind Gavin Blanchard, number 51. Ray Cuevas was out there as well, 64. So Smith to the Jesuit 48. Says 21, that's Ian Wilson. Might have got a yard of forward progress. Second and 9. Joe Smith. Smith up the middle. Smith spins. And Jesuit's going to be facing a 3rd down here in about 6. Yeah, Blanchard's out right now. Blanchard was limping a little bit earlier. And their right foot is taped, so Blanchard's out. And Cuevas is in at left guard. So Blanchard out and his helmet's off. So he has been having a good game. Oh, Griffin's going to get sacked. Griffin is sacked. it's going to necessitate a punt. I think Jesuit might have been trying to get a middle screen set up, but CCC defensive lineman came in a little bit too quick for that. Oops, yep, it's 4th down. So timeout is called by CCC. That is their, I believe, their 2nd timeout. So they have 1 timeout left. It's going to be up to the Jesuit defense here. You know, that middle screen, basically you're letting the kind of a soft blocking, you're letting the lineman through a little bit because you want to set up a wall for your running back or your receiver catching that screen, but never really had a chance at all that time. So here's Jack Ferrari to kick it away. And Griffin did a good job just not throwing it up for grabs. Good snap to Ferrari. Ferrari, nice kick, nice spiral that time. Good Jesuit roll. Ferrari down to the 11-yard line. Effective kick by Jack Ferrari. So the Marauders back at their own 11-yard line. So Andre Morris looks like he's moved back to nose with Pizanski and Boys side by side in the ends. Weathers is in, Bowles at a linebacker position. Kevin Doherty at safety, so they put Bowles at linebacker. Newton rolls left. Newton rolls right. And the pass is broken up by Andre Gilbert. And we have a Tiger down. And that is Doherty. So Doherty is down holding his knee. It looks to be in a lot of discomfort. Didn't mean to say wide left there. Is rolling to the right. We know our directions here. So Newton rolling to the wide side, the right. But Gilbert has had a solid game. Kevin Doherty was holding that right knee. He's been a valuable part of this Jesuit secondary, actually, for the last couple of seasons. Effective cover guy. So we'll see what Jesuit does here. Doherty getting up. Walking off. That's good to see Doherty walk off. So Bowles is moving back to safety, it looks like. Bood's in where Bowles was. On 2nd and 10. Yeah, so Bowles has gone back to a safety position. Newton rolls right, being chased by Boys. Pass is caught for a first down. It's Artavian McClellan, the junior running back. Again, another tough catch by the receiver for CCC, Newton. Newton rolls right, Boys on him. Newton's pass is incomplete. Trying to hit Green, who scored the touchdown earlier. 2nd and 10, 2:02 left in the fourth, 21-20 Jesuit. Tigers 2 timeouts remaining. CCC 1. Ball's back at the CCC 25. Stadium's rocking here at Jesuit. Newton back to pass. Newton. Pazanski grabs him, sacks him. Peter Pazanski. Boy, Pazanski was locked up by the offensive lineman, who was actually doing a pretty good job on him. But when Newton stepped forward, Pazanski broke free, got the tackle, and it's a sack. So that was, I think, 55 for CCC. Kevin Terry, the tackle. He was doing a good job that time on Pazanski, but Pazanski ultimately with the sack. 3rd and 11. Clock running, 1:24. Newton back to pass. Newton rolls right. Newton looking downfield. Oh, it's caught! It was caught! Down to the 28-yard line. I thought that was going to be intercepted, but it is caught by Andy Jaffe. Looked like, I think, Woodaz was going to intercept that pass. I thought he did, but either it got tipped or just went through his fingers, and Jaffe up the sideline on a monster play. And the ball is down to the Jesuit 30, nearly in field goal position. Boy, big play. May have been the biggest play of the game right there overall. Newton, shotgun. Newton, back to pass. Newton getting rushed. Newton rolls left, breaks Pazanski's tackle. Pass is caught by Johnson. And he gets out of bounds to stop the clock. They got to get to the 20 for a first, or at the 23, 2nd and 3. 1:04 left in the fourth. 1 point lead for Jesuit. You got to have speed and strength to beat Peter Pazanski. Newton just got out of his grasp. Newton rolls right. Newton breaks a tackle. Newton runs to the sidelines. Oh, they're going to call a flag is thrown. Are they going to call a personal foul on Jesuit here? My goodness, I hope not. Oh my goodness. At this time of the game, you make that call. Oh my. Wow. Jesuit fans not happy about that one at all. It's first down at the 13-yard line. I think that was questionable, to say the least. Newton back to either side of him. Newton. Draw play. Sapp tackled. I think they're just trying to, Newton spikes it. .37.1. So it's third down at the 12. So here's Newton. Keeps it himself. Newton looking in the end zone. Nearly picked off. So it's fourth down. And the Marauders have had some kicking woes here. They're going to talk about it. It's 4th and 10. So if they tried a field goal here, it would be 30 yards. So Cosenza, the kicker, is 1 for 1. He's tried one field goal this season. 1 for 1. He made it, and it was from 25 yards away. So it is Jaffe, I think, is going to try the field goal. I think that's 2. So this is Andy Jaffe, number 2, trying a field goal. High snap. Kick is up. Kick is... Nope. Jesuit called timeout before the kick. There was no signal from the refs. I couldn't tell if that was good or not from here. It was veering left, but Jesuit called timeout. So it's Jaffe who does the kickoffs, and Jaffe's the guy that hobbled off the field earlier, but with the cramp, but he obviously has recovered. 27.6 seconds left here in the fourth. 21-20 Jesuit and CCC trying for the go-ahead field goal. Marauders are out of timeouts. Jesuit has 1 timeout left. Different holder here too. So they've got a different holder. That's number 9. That's Gedonte Rich is holding. Because I think the other holder got hurt, so they have a new holder here and a different kicker. Boy, oh boy. And I think the ref may want to reset the clock, possibly. I don't know. Let's see. So they're adjusting the time to 30 seconds. So here's Jaffe. And the kick is up, and the kick is good. The kick is good by Andy Jaffe, and CCC goes ahead. 23-21. So Jaffe from 30. And again, a penalty looming large, that a questionable late hit or hit out of bounds on the opposite side of the field, right in front of the CCC bench. So Jesuit has one timeout left, 26.6. Stranger things have happened, and a stranger thing needs to happen tonight. Here's Jaffe to kick it off. And this is going to be returned. 10, 15, 20. Hard hit on Gilbert by number 34. That's Drake. I think that's Drake Witt. 22.2. Left here in the fourth. One timeout. Griffin shotgun. Griffin back to pass. And the play was blown dead. I think CCC might have had too many men out in the field. I think they may need to reset the clock here, don't they? Sure why the clock's not being reset on this. There they go, 22 seconds. Griffin back to pass. Griffin looking down the field, trying to get Andre Gilbert on the home run. Incomplete. Nate Allen was on the coverage. He had inside position on Andre Gilbert. If Jesuit can get to the 50 and call a quick timeout, they may have a chance for a play or two to get in Ferreri's range. They've got that timeout to work with. Griffin back to pass. Griffin. It's picked off. Griffin's intercepted. That's going to do it. Down the sideline is Allen, and there's your game. And a disappointing night for Jesuit at homecoming. As the Tigers are going to fall to 3-3. And CCC is going to go to 5-1. Clearwater Central Catholic Marauders have come to Jesuit and handed the Tigers a very infrequent home defeat on homecoming. Final score, CCC 23, Jesuit 21. Again, next week the Tigers are on the road at Gaither. They will try to get back in the winning column here, as they have dropped 3 out of their last 4. Thanks for all who have tuned in this evening. Jesuit and CCC fans, we appreciate it. Once again, the final, Clearwater Central Catholic Marauders 23, the Jesuit Tigers 21. I am John Pedrero from the class of 1981, and you have been watching Jesuit Tiger football on the Facebook live stream. Have a great evening, everyone.